Hey everyone, I thought I'd do a quick video about all the other meme coins and crazy knockoffs of Bitcoin that exist out there. Specifically, I'll focus for this video on Dogecoin, which is spelled D-O-G-E. So it's spelled like doggy coin, but it's pronounced Dogecoin. And the Shiba Inu coin, which is a knockoff of a knockoff. So Dogecoin is a knockoff of Bitcoin, and Shiba Inu is a knockoff of Dogecoin, which itself is a meme coin of the Shiba Inu dog. There are like 20,000 different ridiculous cryptocurrencies. A few of the smart contract tokens will be worth something one day, but nobody knows which, and I do not recommend trying to figure that out. It is pure venture capital sort of speculation. But anyway, so let's talk about a couple of the knockoffs of Bitcoin, because most of the 20,000 coins out there work in a similar fashion. So let me start with Dogecoin. So Dogecoin, if you'll remember from my previous videos, what makes Bitcoin valuable is its scarcity. It's scarcity, security, decentralization, distribution, and its anonymous creation. There's a bunch of other things that make Bitcoin valuable, but those are, a good top five that are relevant for this. So if you remember right, come April, the number of new Bitcoin that get created every time a miner solves a block and mines a new block of Bitcoin is 3 Bitcoin. So coming up in April, that will be 3 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. To show you how ridiculously not scarce Dogecoin is, rather than 3 Bitcoin every 10 minutes, Dogecoin generates 10,000 new Dogecoin every minute. That is 144 million new Dogecoin tokens enter the circulating supply every single day. So again, that's compared to in June for Bitcoin, the total number of new Bitcoin entering circulation a day is 450. Meanwhile, Dogecoin, a 144 million new Dogecoin enter circulation every single day. And the total supply of Dogecoin is not 144 million per day, but a total of 144 billion. So if you own a Dogecoin, you have 144 billionth of the supply, except the supply is going up by more than 5 billion a year, and it goes up forever for infinity. So if you think that Dogecoin is valuable, then I would say, yeah, just like grass clippings. Are grass clippings valuable to, mulch your lawn? Yeah, sure. But eventually, Dogecoin will trend toward the price of a grass clipping, because a blade of grass is essentially almost worthless, and Dogecoin will eventually be as well. And as a quick sort of bullet point in time, the highest price that Dogecoin ever touched was in June of 2022, a little less than 2 years ago, and it is down 80% from that all-time high. So even though Bitcoin keeps touching new all-time highs every few days, as of the last couple weeks, even though Bitcoin is touching new all-time highs, Dogecoin is down 80% from its all-time high, and I don't ever see it recovering. You may wonder, well, why is Elon Musk pumping Dogecoin? Why does he talk about Dogecoin? Well, first of all, I love Elon Musk and his technology and SpaceX and Tesla, and he has done an incredible amount of stuff, but often Elon Musk gets hung up on things that he thinks are funny that cost other people money. So, for example, he posted on Twitter a number of years ago that he was taking Tesla private for $420 per share, which was significantly higher than the trading amount of that day, the price of that day, I should say. So a bunch of people bought Tesla stock, believing that what he had posted on Twitter was true, and that they could buy the stock for less than $420 a share, and then they would get $420 a share when he took Tesla private. Well, it turns out the whole thing was a joke. Elon Musk thought it was funny. The Security and Exchange Commission did not think it was funny and forced him to step down as chairman of Tesla. He remained CEO. They forced him to step down as chairman because his joke cost a bunch of people a bunch of money. Elon Musk thinks Dogecoin is funny. That is also going to cost a bunch of people a bunch of money, and he is being sued accordingly by people who bought Dogecoin when it was much higher than it is now, and they're suing him for essentially pumping a worthless token that they bought at the high. So Dogecoin, I think, will trend towards zero, and it's about as valuable in the long term as perhaps grass clippings. So if you think that's ridiculous, the Shiba Inu coin, which is a knockoff of Dogecoin, the Shiba Inu, rather than having 144 billion coins in circulation, which is what Dogecoin has, remember, Bitcoin is 21 million, the lowest of them all, 21 million fixed supply, hard cap, super secure, super decentralized, super distributed, and anonymously created. These other coins don't have any of that. So anyway, instead of 21 million for Bitcoin or 144 million, 144 billion with a B for Dogecoin, Shiba Inu has 589 trillion coins in circulation. So if grass clippings are worth something, the value of a Shiba Inu coin will trend toward the value of a grain of sand. And it's ridiculous because you hear people say now and then, yeah, but for only $200 I bought like, a gazillion Shiba Inu coins. And if each one is ever worth a penny, then I'm going to be rich. Well, each one is never going to be worth a penny. I could do the same thing, collecting pine straw or collecting sand, and I could have a huge sand pile in the back of my yard and tell everybody that if each grain of sand is ever worth a penny, I will be rich. Well, grains of sand are never going to be worth a penny because they are not scarce. Shiba Inu tokens with 589 trillion in circulation will also never be worth a penny because they are also not scarce. And if you look on Coinbase at the statistics, it says total supply is infinite. The little horizontal figure 8 that is infinity is the amount of total supply on Coinbase. It literally says the percent of the total supply is infinity percent, like as in there is no cap on the total supply, like this thing is going on, it's ridiculous. So not only is there 589 trillion Shiba Inu coins already in circulation, it too is down 73% from its high in June of 2023. It's a newer coin than Dogecoin. Otherwise, it would have peaked sooner. Both of those, I would estimate, are never coming back. And again, they're never going to be worth a penny. Or in the case of Dogecoin, it's worth more than a penny now. But I think ultimately it will trend back toward zero. So in the world of crypto, everything is either trending toward infinity or zero. And Bitcoin is trending toward infinity, and everything else is pretty much trending toward zero because everything else is almost worthless because it's not scarce. So with all of these things, you got to remember what brings value is its scarcity, its security, decentralization, distribution, and the anonymous creation. So let's talk about each of those. With scarcity, Bitcoin has 21 million total coins that will ever be in existence. That is a hard cap. The miners only are going to get about 3 Bitcoin every 10 minutes, starting in April of this year. Right now, it's twice that. It will drop to half of that in April of this year. And Bitcoin is by far the most secure digital currency ever created. The security of the Bitcoin network is about 20 times more than the security of all other crypto tokens in the world combined. 20 times that. So it's 20 times more than 20,000 other cryptocurrencies combined. So Bitcoin is, it's on the other side of the literal universe in security from Dogecoin or Shiba Inu or anything else. Decentralization, meaning is it controlled by a small number of people? Dogecoin was created by 2 people. We know who they are. We know where to find them. Shiba Inu also created by a small team of people. That's knowable information. Bitcoin is decentralized in that the network is controlled by a massive number of people. No one person controls it. If you wanted to shut down Bitcoin or if you wanted to change Bitcoin, there's literally nowhere to go because it is decentralized. The distribution of Bitcoin is the fairest, most distributed cryptocurrency that's ever existed because it's been around the longest and because it naturally and organically distributed around the world through Bitcoin mining and then people buying and selling Bitcoin all over the world. No other cryptocurrency has that level of distribution. And again, Bitcoin has its anonymous creation where nobody knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is or who Satoshi Nakamoto is, where he is, how to find him. And he has not been involved with the network in more than a decade and everything works fine because it's all open source software. So, that's the highlights. Almost all of the 20,000 cryptocurrency and crypto projects are worthless. Bitcoin is one of the very few exceptions. I do think some of the, some of the smart contract platforms may be valuable one day. For example, Ethereum, but nobody knows if Ethereum is going to win or another smart contract platform. In the world of digital gold and money, Bitcoin already won a long time ago, so you don't have to worry about that on the Bitcoin side. But on the smart contract side, it is still very unclear what is ultimately going to win that marketplace. But anyway, so of the 20,000 cryptocurrencies and crypto tokens and crypto projects, almost all of them will be worthless, with very few exceptions. And Bitcoin is by far the 99.9% certainty to be one of those exceptions that ends up becoming the default monetary system of the world. And all of the knockoffs will fall by the wayside, as they should. Last highlight as a bonus for this episode is everybody who asks me, I tell them, you should buy Bitcoin now as opposed to wait. And the reason for that is if you've held Bitcoin a long time, you know that major news can hit the market at any time. So right now, there's really only one corporation in the world that owns a huge amount of Bitcoin, and that is MicroStrategy. And the founder and CEO of MicroStrategy, the company, the founder and CEO's name is Michael Saylor. He's a genius. He's brilliant. The guy's incredible in every conceivable way. But they're really the only company in the world that's accumulated significant amounts of Bitcoin on their balance sheet, meaning in their corporate treasury. So at some point, we will hear a news article. Nobody knows when. Nobody knows if it's this year, next year, tomorrow, this afternoon. But we will find out that Amazon or Tesla already has some Bitcoin on the balance sheet, but as a percentage, it's very small, microscopic compared to what MicroStrategy has. But we'll find out that some major company that is more mainstream, like Amazon or Apple or Google or Facebook or Netflix, puts Bitcoin on their balance sheet, which is what Tesla did back in 2021, which was one of the catalysts for a huge increase in the price of Bitcoin. So at some point, other companies are going to do that, and the price is going to rise radically. And you certainly want your Bitcoin purchases to be on the before that happened rather than the after that happened. In addition to that, no nation state other than El Salvador owns Bitcoin, and they have a dollarized economy, which means they can't print their own money to buy Bitcoin. At some point, either Switzerland or somebody we're going to find out that they've been accumulating Bitcoin on their central bank balance sheet. Again, I don't know that to be the case. I'm just speculating that at some point, a central bank will decide to do that, and that will trigger a series of dominoes that result in a huge price run in the price of Bitcoin. So all that to say, that's why when everybody asks me, is now a good time? Should I wait? Should I watch? Whatever. I always tell them, absolutely buy now, because you don't know when those news stories are going to hit. When they do hit, they tend to result in a huge price rise in the price of Bitcoin. And then the probability that you miss out on that is much higher than the probability that you wait and buy Bitcoin at a cheaper price. So any of those sort of major catalysts can happen at any time. Nobody knows when they hit. And typically you find out after the fact because Bitcoin's price went way up. And then you go check the news and find out that there's some major new development that has resulted in a huge price rise in the price of Bitcoin. So anyway, hopefully this is helpful. Highlights on Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and again, I just talk about those because they're two of the better known coins, but the same dynamics apply to the vast majority of the 20,000 other crypto tokens out there, in that they are not limited to supply. There's basically a gazillion of them. They don't have the securities, decentralization, distribution, or anonymous creation of Bitcoin, and they will eventually trend towards zero. So hopefully this is helpful. Happy to do additional videos with anything that any of you would find helpful in your Bitcoin journey. Thanks.